Hey, Convention of States family, Erica Hatfield here again to give you an update on the fourth special session. When we last sent a video out, it was about the third special session, and so now we're going into the fourth special session. Again, I have Mandy Drogan to clarify the fourth special session with us, and I also have Darren York, our co-state director here for Convention of States. He is over ministry and mentoring. But he's also going to participate in this call. So a lot of you gave us feedback when I sent out the last video. This has nothing to do with Convention of States and what we need to be staying in our lane and why are we doing this. So Darren, could you clarify for those that are listening, what's that all about?
Absolutely. You know, our one of our missions is to be able to grow the grassroots army and have a well-engaged, well-informed, well-educated, well-prepared army of grassroots self-governing citizens. That's our mission. One of our goals is to call that Convention of States. And in order to call the convention, it takes an activated army of grassroots volunteers. In order for the convention to happen and those amendments to come back to the states is going to take an army of grassroots involved to get those things either ratified or not ratified, depending on what those are. And so whenever we think about how we get engaged as citizens, as COS, one of our major missions is to make sure that we're giving folks the opportunity to be engaged and to exercise those civic muscles, if you want to call it that, in things that are pertinent to our mission and our goals. And this is one area that we feel very certain is very much aligned with our mission and goals, because what's better to save our nation in the future and prepare us for that post-convention world than a well-educated, civic-minded, self-governing thought process in young people here in the state of Texas.
Awesome, thank you. So again, Convention of States is active at the local level. We're active at the state level. And just to reiterate, the state legislature has the power to call this convention. And the state legislature is the one who is discussing this matter of school choice. And school choice is important for the children that are currently being taught Marxism. And so this is really an important issue that we're glad to participate with Governor Abbott, with TPPF, and the coalition as well. So Mandy, again, last time we met, we were talking about the third special session and how we needed to support, and we made our phone calls and we've sent our emails. But so what happened? Why are we now going into a fourth special session?
We are going into a fourth special session because the job didn't get done. The border wasn't secured, and we did not pass education savings accounts. And those are priorities for the governor. And so he made it clear that you're just going to keep coming back until we get this done for Texans. So we're back. As of 14 minutes ago, they were officially back in the fourth special session. And we know that they have set committee hearings, and the bill for education savings accounts has already been filed by Chairman Buckley. He released that publicly on Friday. Several people may have seen. We are really pleased with what the bill looks like. Of course, there are some things in there that, as someone with a healthy distrust of government and a taxpayer, that maybe are not my favorite things to look at. But overall, providing education freedom to parents of Texas so that, as you noted, if their child is in a classroom by a rogue teacher or administrator that is teaching counter to families' values, that parents have transparency into that, and that they have an option to remove their children and send them to the best educational environment to ensure that they get a high quality education and that it is value aligned. And for me, and for most of, I would imagine all of your grassroots army, would be the love of America, the understanding that free market principles, limited government, and term limits, everything else that is taught or was taught, and the foundation of making America great, that we can ensure that our next generation is receiving that as well.
So Mandy, who is opposing? Why is this so difficult? Who's opposing school choice or parent empowerment?
Sure. The opposition for the most part is those that financially profit off of a monopoly. In Texas, our government run and dictated education system. It has become one of the largest monopolies, not just in the state, but in the entire country. This is because we educate 10% of our nation's students. And what we have told them since the beginning of our public education system is that you shall attend a school dictated by the government simply because you live on a specific street. It does not take into account the performance of the school. It does not take into account the parents' wishes and or their values. It's a very antiquated system. With that system comes billions of dollars. There's $85 billion currently being spent on our public education system. And as a parent of a public school student, let's be clear, I want to ensure that our public education system is fully funded. We are spending about $15,780 per student as of last year. And that's according to the Texas Education Agency, the expenditures that you can look up there. But what we're also seeing is that our scores, our performance, and even more important than all of that, our life outcomes for too many Texans that have gone through our public education system are failing. Look, we have 50% of kids in our public education system that cannot read on grade level. 60% cannot do math on grade level. Because this monopoly is set up to just keep pushing children through a system, we are graduating children, I use graduating loosely, and they are failing to launch into the world. What we know, providing the opportunity for parents to be put back in charge, regardless of their income, regardless of their zip code, to truly be empowered to select the school that will provide the best education for their students. We can look around the country. 31 other states have private school choice, and it improves the entire system. We can look at Florida, which is a great example. They're kind of a sister state, right? They are a state that we align with on our values, we align with in so many ways. They passed private school choice 20 plus years ago. They're low income demographic. Those children that we know the data says fail to launch and be thriving, successful citizens. Let's be clear, that's what's happening here. 20 years ago, Florida students, low income demographic, ranked number 33 in the nation. Within 16 years of implementing private school choice, the system got better. Their entire low income demographic shot up from number 33 to number 1. The same thing happened in Indiana. Their low income demographic went from number 22 to number 3. Where Florida and Indiana still rank today. Arizona is another example. They have the top high schools in the country. All of this, as a lover of the free market and someone that trusts individuals to make their choices, parents that cannot write a check for a private school or cannot afford to pick up and move to an excellent public school district, like I had the benefit of being able to do, they are stuck. And empowering parents with choice ensures that parents can get out, but also that we are educating our students. We are ensuring they are not in classrooms being indoctrinated, and we are preparing them to launch and to fight for freedom. As Ronald Reagan said, it is not passed through our bloodstream down through generations. We must raise our children to understand the values that made America great, the most prosperous and benevolent nation that has ever existed on the face of the earth. And if we do not change what's going on in our education system with low quality education and a misalignment of values, we will reap what we sow in decades and generations to come. And right now is the time to change the trajectory of Texas and our entire country.
Right. Well said. Thank you so much. Another concern that we had heard is migrants and funding migrant education. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Sure. So there is nothing we can do about the 14th Amendment in the Constitution. There is a constitutional protection and or obligation to educate every single child that is on our soil. Let's be clear. The 14th Amendment says that the government cannot deny any person within its jurisdiction equal protection under the laws. There was a case, a Supreme Court case in 1982 that specifically took this up, and it states if a state provides a free and public education to U.S. citizens, it cannot deny such an education to undocumented children.
Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, so I think that's it. I just wanted to keep it real short this time. If y'all want to do a deep dive, Mandy, y'all have a website, TX Parents Matter, right?
That's right, txparentsmatter.com. And for your listeners, so they have posted for committee hearings that will actually start tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in Austin. We're encouraging anyone that can make it to come to Austin and testify. If you can't, we can also provide a link. They're asking for public testimony, written public testimony. So the public can click on a link that I'm happy to send over to you, and the parent can say,
it'll be added. Yeah, it'll be.
Perfect. I support. Great. I support empowering parents. I support fully funding our teachers. I support ensuring that the next generation of Texas is well educated. So we ask that if you can't make it on Thursday or Friday, please just submit your support because that goes into the public record for all of your legislators to see. And then finally, assuming that we pass out of the Education Committee on Friday, fingers crossed, if we can get enough support and encouragement for the legislators there, then we'll be having the floor battle next week. I don't know if that'll be on Wednesday or Thursday, but I really do hope that as many Texans as possible understand the importance of passing education savings accounts for the future of Texas and will join us in the gallery to provide encouragement to the legislature.
Right, and free t-shirt is going to be available, right?
Free t-shirt.
Yeah,
maybe some lunch.
And it'll say Texas Parents Matter, right? The t-shirt.
Yeah. That's right. TX Parents Matter. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so if anything, we want everyone to come to the Capitol on either Wednesday or Thursday. We will keep you up to date. So go ahead and mark that off on your calendar to show up. It's important to have the gallery full. Now, Mandy, if it does not pass this session, what happens?
They can start decorating the Christmas tree while they're debating parents. I mean, right. That's it. The governor's made it clear, we burned our boats, y'all. We're not backing down. He's not giving in. He's traveled around the state, as many people, millions of people have seen. This is a hill we will die on. And so it's important to right now, but it's important to the future of Texas. The governor sees that. Millions of parents see that. So it's time to pass it. But if not, it looks like we'll be decorating the Capitol Christmas tree together as we try and pass it again.
Yeah, and this is historical, right? Fourth special session is the first time in Texas history to have a special session. So bring your kids and show up for a historical event.
It is. And it's going to be historic. I think it was the Tribune or the Chronicle or something, I don't know, a statewide said that this was the most significant and most difficult to pass piece of legislation in Texas history. And it is. You would be participating in something historic that your children will thank you for, your grandchildren will thank you for, and quite frankly, given that we educate 10% of the nation, the entire country will thank us for.
Yeah. All right, Mandy, thank you for all your hard work. You're such a wonderful patriot, and we appreciate you and keeping us up to date. And we will see you at the Capitol.
Awesome. See you there.
Bye.